Well, what's going on, YouTube? This is What Would Josh Do, and I have a super exciting video today. Now, the other day I did what I do quite often. I searched the word Anker, I went to filters, I scrolled down to newest arrivals, and show results. And I just scrolled through here, and I found this thing right here. So, this is a brand spanking new power bank that just launched. Purchased one time. I bought it March 23rd. It says date first available on Amazon, January 2024. And it's so new that there are 0 reviews for this thing. And it actually has a full title. Anyways, let's get to the unboxing. All right, simple, shows #1 mobile charging brand, Anker. On the back, we've got some good stuff here. We can see that it says Anker Power Bank 10K 22.5 watts. The model number is A1257. There's all the safety listings, and there's the UPC. They have nice little open tabs, so you don't need to cut anything. This was intriguing to me, this little carry strap thing. So there's the power bank. It's light. I have a scale. I'm going to weigh it. It doesn't come with a cable. All right, well, it's all safety related, and let's open it up. Oh, I was wondering. Okay, so obviously it's some sort of carrying strap, but look at this. So you press these together. It's a... What? What? That's so cool. And this is a special... So you'll know which cable this is. You're not going to lose it. Or you're not going to... If you had a pile of cables in front of you, you're going to know it's special because it's got the little things on there. So that's pretty cool. And then you just put it back in there. And now it's a... That's cool. So we've got a button, shows 29%. It's got a little percentage icon. If we double press it, that's our low power mode. So you'll want to use this mode if you're planning on charging, some Apple AirPods or some Pixel Buds or Samsung earbuds or your game controller, anything that uses a low power. Because what's going to happen is you charge your phone, and it's going to charge your phone at like 20 watts. And then when it sees that your phone's charging at like 1 watt, it's going to stop charging. Now, in this mode, it's not going to stop charging because low power devices such as earbuds, they charge at a very low speed in the first place, and you want those things to fully charge. So you press it again twice to turn it off. And then you long press it, and it should, kill the power. Holy cow, I did not expect to see 2 ports on this thing. Actually, 3 altogether, but 2. Oh, what? There's an in and out and an in and out? And, dude, what? That's... That was totally unexpected. Like, who would have thought this thing would have 2 inputs? Like, that's crazy. And then here's all the information on the back of it. It shows the same thing, Anker Power Bank 10K 22.5 watts. It shows the model number is A1257. The total cell capacity is 10,000, so it's going to use multiple cells to make up the 10,000 altogether. And the important thing is here is that input's going to be 9 volts at 2.2 amps to get 20 watts of input. That's pretty good. I like seeing 20 watts of input. And the USB-C is going to do 9 volts at 2.2 amps for 20 watts, or you're going to get 10 volts at 2.25 amps to get the 22.5 watts altogether. And the USB-A can do 5 volts at 3 amps for 15 watts max. So that's a pretty cool little guy. We're going to basically charge some devices and see what all it can do. All right, I'm going to do all of my tests with the built-in cable here. That's so cool. What the heck? So plug in the input. I have this neat little PowerZ watt reader. And then I have this Anker 30 watt nano power port thing. And the important data here is that we are currently charging at almost 9 volts at 2.1 amps, and we're getting 18.7 watts. And the little green light is flashing. Okay, so I changed out to a 65-watt power adapter, and we're not getting much of a difference here. So since this thing can only charge at a 20-watt input maximum, these little 30-watt adapters for under $20 is definitely a steal. Like, you just should get one of these. Ooh, I love that. So look how spaced out this other port is. I can connect that, and that is a lot of space in between those ports. That's awesome. Now, the obvious question is, can you use both charging inputs? And no, I wouldn't do that. It's still going to charge at its full speed, so I would not do that. All right, so the next question is going to be, can you charge this power bank and charge something else? So we'll connect our Pixel. And no, nothing is happening. So doesn't look like you can output. So what if I turn off the power strip? Okay, so let's connect the iPhone 15 Pro. Now the battery is at 60-something%, so it's not going to charge very fast. And then whenever we try to connect power to it, yeah, you don't want to do that. Well, what about if you use the Type-C input? Can you use the USB-A output? All right, so we'll connect the phone. So you can't use the USB-A when you're using the Type-C in. When you unplug the USB-C, the USB-A starts charging. Okay, something important I want to go over is I see a lot of people charging their phones with this old USB-A port right here. And I want to show you how inefficient that is. So my iPad mini is at it's at 19% right now. So it's kind of low. Now it's currently charging, so it's still at 19%. But if you see here, we're only getting 7 watts. 5 volts, 1.4 amps for 7 watts. Now, 7 watts is going to take a significant amount of time to fully charge up a device. So you're going to be sitting or standing with a power bank connected to your device for a significant amount of time. So the iPad's currently charging. It's at 20%. But now we're charging at 18.5 watts. So more than double the speed. Almost 3 times the speed. And now we won't have to have our device connected to this power bank for nearly as long. That's freaking awesome. So if we connect up the iPhone, we can see that it instantly jumps to 9 volts and 1.5 amps. And depending on how low the battery in your mobile device is, it's going to depend on how fast it charges. See, look at that. 9 volts, 2 amps for almost 20 watts. That's a pretty fast charge. There we go, 19.8. That's pretty freaking awesome. And it's going at a fixed voltage. If we connect the Pixel 8 Pro, we get charging rapidly. And it's at 90% battery, so it's not going to charge very fast right now since the battery's almost full. But we can still see that it can charge at 9 volts and 2.2 amps. So it's going to get almost 20 watts of power. That means our Pixel is going to charge very fast. And it's the same story. If I were to connect a USB-A to USB-C and try to charge that Pixel, it's going to go at 6 or 7 watts. And it's going to take so much longer than charging at 20 watts. Now, I don't have any devices that can do that 10 volts to get the 22.5 watts. So I have a feeling that most of you aren't going to either, but some of you will. And some of you will to push this thing to its 22.5 watts. But for a majority of us, we're only going to see 20 watts in and 20 watts out, which is still very good for a little 10,000 milliamp hour power bank. All right, so now I'm charging the iPhone and the Android, and one of them is going at 10 watts, and the other is going at 7 watts, 8 watts. So you can charge 2 devices at the same time. All right, so that's charging. That's charging. Can we introduce a third device and charge up 3 things? Oh, okay, so that's charging. That's charging. It still says charging rapidly. And the iPhone's charging. So we are charging 3 things at one time using this power bank. Albeit each one of them is only getting about 5 watts, 6 watts of power. Still, it can be done. It's a 10,000 milliamp hour battery. It's got 2 inputs and 3 outputs. It's got 2 USB-C ports and a USB-A port. It can charge at 20 watts maximum, and it can output 22.5 watts maximum. But like I said, most of us are only going to get 20 watts maximum. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to test all the protocols that this thing can do. All right, so I'm going to hit be ready. And I'm going to choose auto detection. And this is with the cable that it comes with. This cable's only supplying power to this guy. And that's using the wall outlet. All right, so we see the SCP there. There's that information. AFC, 12 volts, 2 amps. Quick Charge 2.0. We can see that it can do 12 volts. And then PD3, we can see the 9 volts at 2.2 amps or 5 volts at 3 amps. It's not the most advanced charger in the world. It's pretty basic. It doesn't have PPS. You're only going to get a fixed voltage, meaning if you have a Samsung device, it's only going to charge your device at 15 watts maximum. But if you have a Google Pixel, an iPhone, or almost any other device, including a MacBook, hey, look at that. In an emergency situation where this is my only option, I can put 20 watts of power into my MacBook using this guy. That's pretty good. All right, guys, that concludes this video. Oh, wow. I almost forgot all about this. How much does this guy weigh? At first, let's weigh it without the extra cables. Say you just want to carry it like this. You're looking at 204 grams. Now, more than likely, you're going to have the included cable like this. And how much does that weigh? Just 214. Now, for comparison, this is the Anker 10K with a little wireless charging thing on it. I did a video on this thing ages ago. It's 244 grams. Now, this guy, the Anker PowerCore Slim 10K PD, it's also 20 watts of in and out. It's 260. So 212, that's pretty light actually. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I'll have links to everything in the description below. This is What Would Josh Do? And I'm out.